Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Down South Off-Road and Outdoor. Today I am at Outlaw Off-Road in Nashville, and I came here with Bella. And why am I here? Because we're going to get some DCS lighting installed to replace the old rock lights that we have. Stay tuned. All right, so I am going to open up the box for the DCS lighting. We've actually got two color kits here. We've got a red one and a white one. So just to kind of show you what comes in the box when we open it up. And then you can see these are, the lights are all completely enclosed. Switches are in really good quality. So the cool thing about DCS lighting compared to other rock lights is that these are, you don't have to screw these in. They're going to go straight into our, the factory holes on the Jeep. So that's what you get when you get the kit. And then we're going to show you how we put them in. Hey guys, so I am here with Rob at Outlaw Offroad of Nashville, and he is going to be helping us to install the DCS lighting. Now Rob, tell us what's different about DCS lighting compared to other rock lights.
So one of the biggest differences you'll see is our lights. They're shaped like a little rubber grommet, so they install in an existing hole in the side of the frame, so you don't have to cut or modify anything when you install them. On top of that, we give you a pre-made wiring harness that snakes inside the frame rail, which keeps the wires protected from any things you may encounter when off-roading, and it makes a single electrical connection, whereas some other kits out there that do color changing, which we don't do, have to run every single light has to come back to a single connection point, so there's a lot of extra wiring there. We like to keep it nice and simple, and we hand make everything right in Florida.
Nice, very nice. So like Rob said, these lights will fit directly into existing frame holes, and then the wiring harness gets ran through the frame itself. So what's really cool is that these lights are now just going to pop right in, and you don't have to have any additional screw holes or drilling or anything of that nature. So this is just a really, really cool design because of the way that it just all comes together beautifully. So, all right, so what we have decided to do is DCS, it's not constantly changing colors. You just choose one color that you want. So what we chose for Bella is underneath the around or the exterior underneath is going to be white, and then we have one red that's going to be dead in the center, which I think is going to be really badass. And then we're doing something different with the grill, and I'll show you that once we bring her down off the lift.
This wire goes up and ties directly into the C harness, so I'm just going to push it up as high as I can get it, and I'll reach down when we do the C harness with the Jeep on the ground. Send the snake from front to back. Watch face.
And then it's supposed to come out the other hole?
Well, tape to keep it. You don't mind the plugs as they come to go into the frame?
Say that again.
What is these plugs? Can you just make sure they slide in there good?
Yeah. Hold on, hold on. Can't get it in the hole.
To keep from pulling the harness through the frame when I'm messing with it, just put a light on there so it doesn't go anywhere. It pops in like a little grommet. So you know, it goes up on the underside of the body, over by the drive shaft, and then the harness comes across over the cross member, run along here, and then goes into this hole here, comes through. And plugs directly into the harness, a harness on this side. And we'll go back and put a couple zip ties to secure that up so it's not gonna hit the exhaust or anything like that.
Beautiful.
God forbid you ever broke one, you have a lifetime warranty, or if it went out, all you have to do is pop it out, unplug it, plug the new one in, put it back in the frame.
Super simple. Nice and clean.
This position is so tight. This rear one used to replace the drain plug, but because of excessive shadows, it's now a magnet mount. So you can move it a little bit and avoid the shadows from the stock exhaust. And this just runs across and ties into the harness over here.
And then that one's on by a magnet, right?
Yep.
Just a hard magnet. Nice. Very clean.
This is super important to tie up because it runs close to the exhaust. You don't want it falling on there, melting, and shorting the whole system out. So we zip tie to this cross member. here, tie it off to this on the side where it is attached to the frame already. These also have to be tied up secure so they don't hit the exhaust.
So now these wires that are hanging, these are going up to the C harness, is that what you said?
They would plug into the C harness that runs across the firewall and ties into our power source. So I'm just gonna reach up here and get it up as high as I can manage. And hopefully it'll stay up there, but it's not going to, so we use a Jeter tool. Go under the master cylinder, bring it over here to the side. It keeps it a little cleaner and tighter. And then you remember the front light, you push that wire up here. Okay, secure those wires in the firewall, and then we'll be done underneath. You take the C harness and run it across the firewall, where all of the harnesses we've run will plug into it. You want to make sure it gets tied up nice and tight and neatly. So it plugs, and then we'll tie this end right into the existing switch. And then the B harness that we've got sitting here, you see the extra plug here. This is so when we install the grill lights in a little bit, we can plug them directly in and they'll come on with the same switch without any additional wiring. So we put appropriate terminal ends on the wiring harness from DCS to tie into the switch panel that's already here in the vehicle, and we're just going to connect our power and ground and then test our lights to make sure they all work. When you're applying these to any switch panel, the fuse size does not matter at all because the DCS lights have a 5-amp fuse in here which protects their system, so it doesn't matter which output you put it on your switch panel. What's that? This front light, which we are way too low for. At nighttime, turn them on and see how the light is cast out, and then you can just loosen these 2 screws here and adjust it if you need to rotate it on that piece of tube at all. Can't see the screw because the damn light's on.
All right, so now that we have the rock lights themselves installed, we are going to install some grill lights. And the grill lights, what we have chosen is to do 2 red and 1 white, since most of the underneath on the Jeep is going to be white and only 1 red. So these grill lights are going to light up the front, and pretty excited to see what it looks like.
So now that the rock lights are installed, we also have grill lights for this Jeep, so we're going to go ahead and remove the grill, and then we'll walk through getting those lights set in place and wired up. I'm going to take our wiring harness, and we have a male plug on one end that's going to tie into the C harness, and then we've got the 3 plugs for these lights. So Kim has 2 reds and 1 white going on this grill light set, so they'll be red on the outside and white in the center, the opposite of what's underneath the Jeep. So we just lay the harness out, and we're going to plug all 3 of these in together and then drop them into place. Pull the grill forward, and we drop all 3 down here on this little metal cross member here. These magnet mounts will sit and not move once they're in place. So I like to put the center one right in the middle of the center slot, and then the 2 side ones I'll hide behind the divider between the 2 end slots. And when we wired in our rock lights, our front light came up and to the driver's side, so our empty plug is on the passenger side, so we want to remember to route this down the passenger side of the vehicle. And we're just going to find a nice clean, easy path out of here and up along the fender to plug into the C harness. We're coming along this side. We take this one 10mm bolt out.
Many months later.
Really long 10mm bolt. Now we can just take the wire and we just pry a little bit here. Just a little flat blade screwdriver just to pop it up out of place. And then we can sneak the wire underneath. Just lets it be a little bit of a cleaner install. That wire tucked down in there. And then we come across here and we just plug into the empty port on the rock light harness. The grill lights should be on right now. And then we just put our hardware back, tie up our wires, put the clips back in the grill, and we're all done.
All right, guys. So she's got her headlights off, but you can see those Cyclops redeemed LEDs look super cool. But now we're going to turn on the DCS and see what kind of light they put off. Oh, that is so cool. So what they did is they mixed her grill lights. So she has one white and two reds, and it looks super cool. I cannot wait to take photos of this. But one thing you can't notice is if we get around, oh wow, that looks super cool. So for her rock lights in the wheel wells, she did a bright white, and you can see it puts off a ton of lights on the trail. But then underneath in the center, they did a red. And it is so cool. Man, I wish I had done some kind of cool setup like that instead of just amber. Yeah, guys, that is so badass. So to show how much light this puts off, it truly is a rock light. You can see that. So if you needed to get in there and do any kind of work, you can see. And man, that red underneath is just so cool. I didn't even go around back. Yeah, it puts off a ton of light underneath. So that is super cool. I love my ambers, but this dual color mix is probably definitely the way to go. So guys, I got a little ways back and look at how bright that is underneath. I mean, actually, look at how much light it's throwing under my Jeep. That is crazy. And that is so red under there. And that's it, guys. So if you like the DCS Rock lights, be sure to check them out. And if you're in the Nashville area, definitely check out Outlaw Offroad. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We'll see you next time.